Welcome to Dia De Los Muertos. You like the way I said that? Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Mark Pavlovich, the old guy. We're to college to celebrate another day of Day of the Souls that you can also call this day to celebrate those individuals that have passed away. But in the meantime, I got two individuals that are still with me and got a lot of years to keep on going as they keep learning about many things here as both students at Fullerton College. To my right, on your left on the camera screen, Sabrina Vallejo Gomez, and on my left, to your right on the camera screen, Thomas Cribbs. Guys, ladies, it's nice to have you on the air as we are here at Fullerton College to come out again for them to celebrate this day. And Sabrina, I'm going to ask you first because unlike Thomas, you do have that Hispanic last name. So would this day, Day of the Dead, be classified as a holiday for the Hispanic culture?
Yes. um, Today is a day that um, Day of the Dead is a day that we celebrate the lives of our loved ones who have passed, and we put their pictures on this thing called an ofrenda. Um, and that's their way of coming to us. If it's not up there, they can't meet us when we celebrate. And we also put out food, and they can eat it like through the smells. And that's just our way of connecting with our past loved ones.
And Thomas, you and I, not necessarily having Hispanic heritage, I mean, we might come from cultures that also celebrate the passing of our loved ones. But is this your first adventure into the world where you actually get to come to a celebration
Yeah,
of
sorry.
Dia de los Muertos?
Absolutely. It is my first time experiencing Dia De Los Muertos here at Fullerton College and or just in general as well. And so far, it's exciting. I'm really happy I'm here.
And when you talk about this, we live in a culture because Sabrina, as you know, where we're sitting right now, used to be some of the largest land grants in the old days in California. Jerry Padilla, who used to run international studies here, his house was on this property at one time. So when we talk about Hispanics here in Orange County, Southern California, or California in general, this is not a new phenomena that everybody keeps thinking about. This is a phenomena that has lasted for 500, 600 years as many people migrated from southern countries, came up here and established what is now the country of Mexico. But they came up to Northern America too, and you look at the places around Fullerton, many of the apartments that have the Hispanic architect to it were actually the rooms for day workers in the old days here when Orange County was really Orange County. I mean, I grew up here in 1951. I was here in Orange County. I was here when there was nothing but orange groves. And, actually, that's why my student number is 001 here at Fullerton College. So, Sabrina, I'm going to go back to you because of having Hispanic culture. When you look at it, what does your family normally do, or do they celebrate Day of the Dead?
Yes, we do celebrate Day of the Dead. We set up our ofrenda to have our loved ones who have passed, not only humans, but also our pets who have passed. There's days where you can put up pictures of your pets, your dogs or cats who have passed can come back to you. Also, as well as your loved ones who have passed away.
Yeah, when you talk about the ofrenda, it is a temporary altar for the families at home. One thing I didn't know about Day of the Dead, which was interesting, I didn't know there were different stages for Day of the Dead too, for the spirit to finally get to what would be their spiritual resting place. And in talking with Ryan Osborne, whose family is from Colombia, who you'll see later here on Hornet Radio, it was interesting to know that it's not just one time you pass away and you're automatically in heaven. There are layers to have your relatives finally take that final step into eternity forever, which was, I found, rather comforting because I'm from that age and who knows when here on Hornet Radio. When you look at this celebration, Thomas, I mean, it's, again, first time here. what is the first thing you found unique? Because you listened to the music, but while we're setting up all the equipment, and even said to me, why's the band leaving?
Yeah, I did notice that the band was leaving. Thankfully, we do have some Spanish music being played now. I would say the first thing that I really noticed was this ofrenda right there in front of us. They have a college professor that I didn't know about that had recently passed last year that they're honoring, and Madam Curry and someone else that I didn't really remember their name.
So when you all, I'm going to ask both of you because I've been at Fullerton College for a lot of years. We'll leave it right there. Sabrina sort of looks over at me and smiles politely like, oh man, you've been here for more than a lot of years. Why did you come to Fullerton College?
I wanted to pursue film, and I know Fullerton College can give me the knowledge that I need for an associate's degree and then eventually move on to get my bachelor's degree. And I'm looking to get a degree in film and also communications as well.
Good. I'll flip it to you, same question.
I'm a journalism major. I'm just here to get the experience, to be honest. I'm here for my sports broadcasting certificate, so I'm just trying to gear up and be as prepared as possible for whenever I try to stick my foot in the door of the broadcast industry.
So you're both in the world of media, information, entertainment, because it's got to be entertainment too, social acceptance and everything else. As young college students, how do you view the world? And I'm going to start again with you, Sabrina, and we'll be polite, but how do you view the world?
The way I view the world is that there's so many opportunities you can go for, and it's just about like believing in yourself. And even when you don't have as many advantages as other people, I feel like you still need to have that drive and hope that you can pursue whatever you want to pursue.
And Thomas, I'll look at you because you were telling me you and your wife are proud veterans, that you both trained in Alaska. So you both come from that world of going into the service, trying to discover what's out there, and now you're in the world of education. So you've been out in the world.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm going to ask you, same thing. How do you view the world, especially since you're a young person?
I have a newfound dad lens on. I'm just out here being Papa Bear, making sure my son's okay, protected, and then also I'm just trying to look out for every opportunity I can for him and to just better our lives. I would say I'm an extremely optimistic person, and I try to have a good outlook on life.
So if you're like the two students that are currently sitting next to me, Sabrina and Thomas, what you want to do is take a little time out and maybe try some of the programs out here. I mean, when Thomas was talking, he was talking about the FC journalism program. They're there ready to tell stories that matter. Fullerton College Journalism Program offers hands-on training in print, digital, and broadcast media. Learn from working professionals using industry standard equipment and get certified in journalism, public relationship, advertising, and then get your degree and move on to the next level, and maybe you'll be that person we read about 5 years from now in doing something. So not only are we here for this night, but we're going to talk a little about Fullerton College and the opportunity it offers young people like Sabrina and Thomas to fulfill their dreams, and on the other hand, be able to take care of that wonderful new family, that beautiful wife of yours, and have no worries down the road when you get to be my age and say, hey, life is good, I've had a lot of fun, I've met a lot of people, and we've got nothing to worry about because now my son is living the dreams you lived at one time in life.
One can only hope.
So we're going to have a few people that are going to be coming onto the table. We're going to get some interviews over here. Sabrina's going to do a couple interviews. Thomas is going to do a couple interviews. I already talked about things over. Of course, when I talk about journalism, don't forget the Hornet. Stay informed with the Hornet, your campus newspaper, from breaking news to in-depth investigations. Our journalistic students bring you the stories that matter to the Fullerton College community. Read it online, The Hornet, where students' voices, like these two, are the headlines of tomorrow. So Ryan Osborne with Wade Donahoe, pulling everything off, making sure we're off the air. I'm going to get out of the way in a second. I'm going to let you two talk, try and find you a couple interviews, and then we'll see if I can bring somebody back interesting for either one of you and have a little conversation. So Ryan Osborne's going to let me go. Thomas, I'm going to leave it with you, and I'll be back in a while.
Absolutely. So for now, why don't I let you guys know about the FC radio program. Launch your broadcasting career with the Fullerton College radio program. Get hands-on experience with professional equipment, learn on-air skills, audio production, and digital media from industry experts. From behind the mic to behind the scenes, we'll prepare you for the radio industry. Enroll today. So Sabrina, with me being a first-time experience of Dia De Los Muertos. I'm sorry for the mispronunciation. What can you, give me some basic tips and tricks of how I can navigate this day?
Um, I think you can just being respectful of the people here and um, being just interested in the culture, and you can make conversation with people, ask them how their day is going, maybe ask if it's okay if they can tell them stories about their past loved ones, because this isn't supposed to be a sad day. It's supposed to be a happy day where you can celebrate their life, and you can just imagine that they're here with you and you're just having a party as if they're still here, because they are still here in spirit.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I do also see there's these ladies walking around in dresses with some type of skeleton makeup. What are
Yeah.
those?
Um, so that's based off of um, a woman um, with she's supposed to be a skeleton, and she has these orange flowers on her big cat. Um, I I think her name is Calavera Catrina. That's her name, and everybody just puts on the makeup to celebrate. She's supposed to represent the people who have passed, as when we pass, we're kind of just turned into skeletons. And yeah, it's kind of like a homage to your life, and now that and you can know that you're not never truly gone, because you're always remembered by your family.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Anything?
Um, yeah. Is there anything that you already told us what caught your eye, but is there anything you really want to just learn more about, and do you what makes you the most curious about this event?
Oh, absolutely. When Mark was talking about the different stages of heaven and how you have to go through multiple, I think he said multiple lifetimes, or something like that. That truly piqued my interest, and I want to know more about that.
Yeah. Um, that's awesome. um, yeah, just talking to people and making conversation is really great.
Yeah, just being able to enjoy people's company on a day-to-day basis, and even on a day like this where we're celebrating life, where we're celebrating the life of people.
Yeah.
It's just a joyous occasion.
I mean, when you mentioned that, Thomas, and my name is Ryan Osborne, in case anyone doesn't know, been joining Dia De Los Muertos for each of the last 10 years as a student and or staff member here. 6 years, I guess unofficially, 5 years because we did have COVID, where we didn't have a broadcast here from Dia De Los Muertos, but 6 years that the radio station has been out here consecutively. You two were just talking about the different aspects of Dia De Los Muertos, and it's really interesting when you look at Dia De Los Muertos and how it affects different people. Because traditionally, if you're someone who grew up here in the States without exposure to Dia de los Muertos, it's a very foreign concept, right? We think of Halloween and we just kind of attach it to Dia de los Muertos. It is not that. It is completely separate. And that's what a lot of people who grew up here who didn't have that exposure to Dia de los Muertos don't really understand. And they have a lot of trouble trying to differentiate the two. They're not the same thing. Because Dia de los Muertos is very much like you said, and like you were talking about as well. It's a celebration not only of life, but also of your ancestors, your family members, your friends who ended up passing on, but are still with you in a sense and in a variety as well. Halloween is more that dress-up style. Yes, there's a long lineage and a long history to it that goes across worldwide, but it's not the same because Dia de los Muertos, again, is all about celebrating your ancestry, your friends, your family, and what that makes you feel like and how you are able to translate that into allowing yourself to feel, into allowing yourself to celebrate. And it's very different than Halloween would be celebrated, not just in the States, but across the world as well. Now, I've got Sabrina over to my right, which would be your left, the viewer's left, and then Thomas to my left, which would be your right. They are two of the students who have been helping us tremendously here on Dia de los Muertos. You're going to see a lot more from them coming up. They're going to have an interview in just a couple of moments. Over to my right and your left is Wade Donahoe behind the ones and twos, as Joe likes to say. We want to give credit to all these students who have helped us get on the air here on Hornet Radio at Dia de los Muertos because it is one of our favorite events to do throughout the entirety of the year. It's an honor to be able to come out here and be able to celebrate this event year in and year out. And we also want to give a lot of credit to those who helped set up this event, who you will hear from more later throughout the night as we continue to go on. Now, I'm going to get out of your way so that way you can keep talking. Mark is actually bringing over your first interview, so we'll get you set up in just a couple of moments. You guys keep talking. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you. So, what day is Dia de los Muertos? Is it October 23rd? Is it today, or is it?
It starts today.
It starts today?
Yeah. It starts from today to I think November 2nd. These different days celebrate different. It's the days that different people come to meet you. There's one for your pets that have passed away. There's one for children. There's also one for people who have passed suddenly. Yeah, it's really make sure that you celebrate every single person who has passed in your family. Yeah, and there's one day where you can bring out the food and just you set out food that your loved ones have passed, maybe their favorite meals, their favorite candies, and they can soak it up through the smell of the food. And yeah, it's an offering to them to make them feel welcome.
Do you have any type of specific? Because I heard you mention there's different types of decorations for each one. So or different ofrendas, right? For each one, like you said, for the dead pets or.
It's like one ofrenda, but each day you can put new pictures up.
Oh, new picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any type of like decoration style or?
Yeah, on them there's a lot of. You can put a lot of calaveras, which are skulls. In our culture, there's skulls made of sugar that you can put up, and the marigolds a lot of marigolds you can put up. For me, we make a cross out of marigolds on the outside of our house as like a welcome, and just also a lot of candles. Candles with Jesus, because a lot of Hispanic people are Catholic. And yeah, a lot of also papel picado seen in the back right here. That's also put on display as well. A lot of candles, flowers, calaveras. Yeah.
Say that one more time.
There's a lot of.
No, the name. I'm sorry, just the name. I didn't catch the name. What was the name?
What name?
What's back
papel
here?
picado.
Papel picado.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the translation for that?
I'm not sure. Cut up paper, but they have a lot of different images on them, like that represent Dia de los Muertos. Like there's some that have like skeleton mariachi on them that I've seen.
Okay. I mean, is there any type of specific like music that you enjoy playing throughout this celebration?
Recently, I loved been playing the music from the movie Coco. If you don't know what that is, it's a Dia de los Muertos Disney movie that represents the Day of the Dead, where this boy goes to the land of the dead. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. You have anything else? Like, I kind of want to know everything about Day of the Dead. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so here at Fullerton College, make sure to not miss the coaches. So don't miss the coaches show. Your inside look you won't find anywhere else. Available as a podcast on all platforms or catch it on
Good. How are you?
In the middle, we have Sam Martinez.
Yes.
How are you guys? How are you?
A lot of creativity, so we're super excited.
That's awesome. I personally have no experience with Day of the Dead, so I'm new here. Is there any like a crash course you guys can run me down?
Yeah. So Dia De Los Muertos is celebrated on November 2nd, I believe. And there's traditional different aspects that we like to include in it. One being the flowers on there. They're called marigolds in English. Not too sure in Spanish. I keep forgetting the name. But we also include different food items, soda or something like that.
At Fullerton College, it's the free tuition program. So for any college student that's never attended college before, if they don't qualify for financial aid, then the program will cover their enrollment and health fee. So we're located right next to financial aid in the 100 building. If there's a new student out there that's never heard of it, the deadline to sign up is the end of the semester.
Okay, what?
Income requirements. So anyone that just meets our personal requirements will be eligible.
They do have to have California residency, so the program unfortunately doesn't cover like out-of-state tuition. For online orientation, they do have to do, oh yes, and full-time. That's the biggest one. They have to have 12 or more.
The noise. What's going on back here?
Yeah, they look like folklorico dancers. So
Tigers?
yes, or jaguars.
Jaguars? Is there any type of cultural significance
I'm
with a
not
jaguar?
sure exactly what, but when I went to La Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico City, jaguars were everywhere, and I'm pretty sure they have like a jaguar call or something like that. But yeah, there's a traditional dance. I'm not too sure what it's called, and they use the incense and the traditional drums. Yeah, I'm not too
They're
sure.
probably going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what the traditional drums are called?
No. Well, in Spanish, they're just called tambores, just drums, but they might have a specific name.
That's actually pretty interesting. I like what's going on back there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other factors that are preventing them from feeling like college is available to them.
Yeah.
Good.
Is Day of the Dead celebrated differently between the Hispanic cultures?
I don't think so. I
I
think
think this is very traditional
Yeah.
for Hispanic cultures, but maybe in like the Asian cultures there might be a different way of celebrating.
yeah, I think it's more of like a Hispanic culture for sure. But maybe other different cultures do celebrate it in their own different way. This is just all I know because it's what I've been celebrating my whole life. But yeah, that's the jaguar call.
The jaguar call.
Yes. They use
How do
like
they do that?
special. They're like special whistles. I don't know.
Oh, it wasn't their voice?
No.
I thought it was their
Some-
voice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is with their voice, but most of the time they have like a, it's like a I don't know, it's like a whistle, and it's shaped pretty cool, and you just like cover it with your hand and you just like scream into it, and it lets out a different, like a jaguar call.
I 100% thought that was someone's voice. Like
It
That-
might have been. Maybe someone has perfected it and they don't need the whistle.
that
But
sounded so real.
yeah.
It sounded so real. Is there any other like tiny, like hard to pass over if they were to look at Day of the Dead compared to like Halloween?
Well, maybe like the costumes, I guess. 'Cause here.
Or the different dances, things like that.
I just want to thank you guys for joining us once again.
Things like that.
I just want to thank you guys for joining us once again. This was Sam and Annika, right? That's how you pronounce it. Annika from the Promise Program. Sam and Annika, right? That's how you pronounce it. Annika from the Promise Program. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank
see you next week.
Yes, we will see you next week.
Your beauty career with our day program, or choose evenings at Fullerton College.
And if you haven't had the opportunity to check out the cosmetology program here at Fullerton College, they do now have a partnership with a couple of schools in Japan, which is actually really pretty cool. I mean, at least I think. They got to bring in a couple of students from Japan just this last year to check out the program here. They got to take a tour and also do some stations here at the program at Fullerton College. Now they have a partnership overall. So that's something that's added to it as well. Now, Thomas, I will bring it over to you. Just campus. Now that you had the opportunity to be on the air, we want to give you the opportunity to walk around a little bit if you would like to, because I know it's a really nice event. You're more than welcome to take in the scenery and everything that they have going on here. So I'll take over for you for a little bit. And as 25, it's the 30th anniversary, the 30th time that Dia De Los Muertos has been hosted here at Fullerton College, right here in the quad. Now, the quad may look a little bit different than what most people remember from the years past. If you joined Dia De Los Muertos at the very start for Fullerton College 30 years ago, or I should say 31 years ago, it looked different. The quad was different, the library was different, and also the pavement was different as well. If you remember, the Buzzy statue would have been over my right shoulder just down the walkway too. Well, things have changed, but one thing that has remained constant has been Dia de los Muertos here at Fullerton College and the celebration of life that is Dia de los Muertos, and bringing this cultural aspect that a lot of people don't necessarily have that same exposure to as people who grew up with it and who grew up seeing it celebrated overall. Now, I'm Ryan Osborne, thanking you once again for joining us here on Dia de los Muertos, as we will have a little bit of a changeover coming up in just a few moments. Over to my right, Wade Donahoe has been on the controls here for us, and we thank her for the work that she has been doing, making sure that we are on the air, making sure that our audio levels are good to go as well. We also want to thank Thomas Cribbs for all the work he did, making sure that everything that you see here, whether it be the pages that we're reading off of or the cameras that you're watching from, he helped us get on the air as well. Sabrina Villegas Gomez also did a fantastic job in making sure that each and every one of these cameras and audio equipment was set up correctly to help us get rolling too. So we're going to keep rolling on here at Dia de los Muertos, and we do want to remind you a couple of quick facts that we have printed out here. And the reason why we print it out is because my memory's not that great. And I can tell you what, it matches Mark Pavlovich's memory as well. Not that great. We need our stuff printed out. So that's exactly what we did. Dia de los Muertos originated in ancient Mesoamerica. Now, that is Mexico and northern Central America, where indigenous groups, including Aztec, Maya, and Toltec, had specific times when they commemorated their loved ones who had passed away. Certain months were dedicated to remembering the departed based off of whether the deceased was an adult or a child. Again, it is a celebration of not just the cultural aspect, but also of the ancestry, also of the familial, also of the friendship as well. Those who you remember who have passed on, it's kind of a bridge. It's a feeling and a sense that they are right here with you. They are here to celebrate with you as well. And that's just what they do here at Dia de los Muertos, is allow for people who have never seen this before, who have never gotten the opportunity to understand what it is, what it means to Central America and also Mesoamerica, as it is called here at Fullerton College, getting them the opportunity to educate those who have never seen this before. That's what this night is all about. Again, I am Ryan Osborne. In just a couple of moments, we're going to have one of the clubs here at Fullerton College joining us live on the air. We also have Corey Nayland of the sports class over to my right-hand side, which reminds me that if you want and you have the opportunity to, tomorrow night, Fullerton College Volleyball is actually going to be on the air live. That will be October 24th at 6 p.m., where Fullerton College Volleyball will be live right here on Hornet Radio and the Full Call Sports Athletic page as well. So if you haven't had the opportunity to watch Fullerton College Volleyball, you have a perfect chance to do so Friday, October 24th at 6 p.m. Again, that is Corey Nayland's CRTV 145 class here at Fullerton College. They bring you a lot of live sports and not just volleyball. They also do Saturday Hornet football as well, in addition to also bringing you some basketball coming up later this season too. So that's some stuff that's coming up here on Hornet Radio, also on the Fullerton College Athletics YouTube page. Just a little bit, we're going to talk to some of the clubs here on campus, and most notably, in the recent years, we have had the opportunity to be able to talk to some of these clubs who have helped set up this event. Gilberto being not one of the club members, but also the main person who helped set this up overall. He has given us plenty of direction and opportunity to be out here on the quad and giving us everything necessary that we need to be able to get up on the air live. And we give him a lot of credit and a lot of a shout out because of how well he has treated us in each of the years that we have been out here on the quad, bringing you this event live with students, with club members, with performers as well. We've done that for a few years, and it is much to the help of Gilberto, who has done an excellent job in putting this event up and making sure that we have everything that we need. Now, as we continue on with Dia de los Muertos, another fact about Dia de los Muertos is that ancient Mesoamericans believed that death was only a part of the journey of life, just kind of what we were talking about earlier. Rather than death ending life, they believed that new life came from death. It's a cycle that's often associated with the cyclical nature of agriculture, whereby crops grow from the ground where the last crop lies buried. Dia de los Muertos is an opportunity to remember and celebrate the lives of departed loved ones, and like any other celebration, Dia de los Muertos is filled with music and dancing. Some popular dancing or dances include La Danza de los Viejitos, the dance of the older gentlemen, and which boys and young men dressed as old men walk around crouched over and then suddenly jump in energetic dance. You also have La Danza de los Tecuanes, that is just behind us, that you saw a little bit earlier. That is the dance of the Jaguars. As in just a little bit, we're going to have a interview coming up with one of the club members here on campus. But before we get there, we're going to send it back a little bit to a interview that we did a few years ago. Now, this would have been 2019, our first year doing a live video broadcast of Dia de los Muertos. That took place right here, but not in the same location. It was actually over my right shoulder, directly to where those easy ups are over to my right. And it gave us the opportunity to talk to some of the members of the community who helped not only set up this Dia de los Muertos event, but also the ethnic study group here on campus. So, without further ado, let's take you back to 2019. I believe it was late October of 2019, where a much younger myself, and then also a couple more members of the station here, were able to talk to one of the members of the ethnic studies program here at Hornet Radio.
Hey, this is Wade Donahoe here from Hornet Radio. We'll get right back to the live content in a few minutes. In the meantime, enjoy this interview from the 2020 Dia de los Muertos celebration with Dr. Amber Gonzalez.
So welcome back to Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead here at Fullerton College. We are now joined by Dr. Amber Gonzalez, myself, Ryan Osborne, joined by Noah Alvarez. Dr. Gonzalez, when you look at Dia de los Muertos, the first thing that you got to think is this was pulled off excellently.
Thank you.
When you look at all the people who are here, in the last 10 years specifically, this event has truly taken on a life of its own. 26 years now that Fullerton College has emphasized this event, that they have been able to put this on. When you look at this year's event, what makes it special?
For me, it's really the community members who come every year, the alumni who come back, and just that sense of connection that people have with one another. And in a lot of ways, it feels like a family reunion because folks who went to school here decades ago, or folks come back who are, are now adults with children, and maybe they both went through the process of coming here. So it's like these multiple generations of folks coming specifically for this event.
And you mentioned that, it's 26 years now. So now you have the opportunity. We just spoke to Gil Perez, who has been a professor here at Fullerton College and in the radio industry for years now, well over 35 years. He remembers when this event kind of got its start, wasn't really emphasized that much, but it got its start here on campus. And you mentioned the parents who maybe they themselves came to Fullerton College. They've had kids. They're now bringing their kids to this event. Just moments ago, we had Jonathan on the air. His family has been here for a while celebrating this event as well. When you see those different generations coming here and celebrating, whether they're in the face paint, whether they're doing the dancing as well, showing off their culture, does it give you a sense of pride?
Definitely. It's definitely makes me really, really proud to work here, to be on this campus. And honestly, that was one of the reasons, if not the reason, that I felt like this was the place where I needed to be, to call home, to start my career here, because really immediately coming to campus, so many folks who are just even employed here are alumni because they really care about this campus. And I've seen that this is my 6th year here on campus, just really seeing the connection that folks have to the campus, to each other, And it just makes me so proud to be a Hornet in a lot of ways. You know, there's a lot of things, a lot of areas where I think transformation needs to happen. And there are a lot of areas and moments that are amazing and wonderful and make me so happy to work here.
So when looking at a personal level, the Day of the Dead, the celebration of the holiday, ¿qué tan importante para usted y su familia el día?
Mi familia no celebré la Día de los Muertos cuando era niña. Nomás yo aprendí de la celebración cuando estuve en colegio, en Cal Poly Pomona, para un clase. Y aprendí de la celebración y qué significa. Y tengo como 15 años celebrando Día de los Muertos. Entonces es un como reclamación de mi cultura, de mi historia. Y ya, sí, tengo como 15 años celebrando ese evento.
So now as you look around and you walk around the event in the quad here, you see a lot of ofrendas, you see a lot of giving away food, the tacos, the tamales, and people selling drinks and stuff like that. How difficult was it to get this all settled?
You know, it takes a lot of work, and I will say, so one of the reasons why I'm so happy to work here and so proud to be a Hornet, it's really because of the people in my department, and that includes the faculty, that includes the students who give their time, who give their energy and their love to really making this event a success. It's definitely a family effort. We all contribute something different. We all have different skills and talents that we offer. And it's just really great to be able to draw on those different strengths that every individual has. We're a small family, we're a small team, but it's amazing to me the scale of this event is pulled off by 5 faculty and our students.
Now, when we look at this interview, we're being joined by Dr. Amber Gonzalez, who is a professor here on campus. We also want to bring in that Spanish aspect. It's multiple languages that are being spoken here tonight, and Noah just went into it moments ago. Pero, Doctora Gonzalez, cuando miras a Dia de los Muertos, muchas personas piensan que, eso nomás es Halloween para los mexicanos.
Sí.
Eso es muy diferente de lo que muchas personas piensan.
Sí, es totalmente diferente, no es Halloween y actualmente normalmente tenemos el evento en el último jueves en octubre y ese año el último jueves es Halloween y decidimos que no queríamos tener ese evento en Halloween porque hay gente que piensan que es igual y es muy diferente. Día de los Muertos es para honrar to honor sus antepasados, su familia. Es para invitar los spirits, los espíritus para venir a celebrar también. Halloween es como y sabes que en los Estados Unidos los holidays son muy diferentes de los raíces. Nomás es para gastar dinero, para comprar cosas. The original meaning it's lost. Entonces no queríamos hacer algo así con ese día, los días de los muertos, porque es muy diferente, es muy especial, es nuestras raíces.
And myself, I'm Colombian. I didn't grow up with Dia de los Muertos. We don't have a Dia de los Muertos celebration. As I was telling Noah, Mark, and Joseph earlier, it was more of an emphasis on, the family kind of gathered one day out of the year. It could have been June 17th. It could have been March the 19th. It was one day out of the year where the entire family got together, but it was a random day. And it wasn't necessarily about Dia de los Muertos, in which you celebrate the people who have lived before you, the people who have passed, and made your family what they are today. When you look at it from the Mexican culture, from the Central American culture, all these different countries that have this opportunity to celebrate who their families are, do you also see in the people who are performing, the people who are attending, do you also see them just kind of well up with this sense of, yes, this is who I am?
Yeah, and I think one of the really amazing things about the way the event has transformed over time, because the celebration has become something very public. It's moved from, it's still celebrated in the home, it's still very private in a lot of ways, but it's moved to be a public celebration and a public spectacle in the 1970s because of the Chicanx movement and folks, you know, being outwardly proud of their culture, bringing attention to different social issues, to different topics. And so this opens up the space because it's not just about, you know, you have to be Mexican to participate and it has to look a very particular way. One thing that we find is that so many different cultures celebrate their ancestors and look to their ancestors for guidance and have some sort of either a specific day or a holiday or something in their culture or their religion that they celebrate it. And then also, you know, bringing in this idea of bringing awareness to issues. It's really about different folks finding a connection in their own way, whether it's from their culture, their religion, or bringing awareness to an issue that they care about. There's really something for everyone here.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
we appreciate
thank you.
everything that
Thank
you've
you.
done here tonight. It's a beautiful event here going on campus. Once again, Ryan Osborne, Noah Alvarez talking with Dr. Amber Gonzalez, Professor of Ethnic Studies here on campus, one of the biggest organizers of this entire event, Dia De Los Muertos, in its 26th annual, I guess I wouldn't say 26th annual event, but it's 26th edition of this annual event here at Fullerton College. Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Gonzalez.
much. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Go
FC
ahead.
Ethnic Studies, yeah. FC Ethnic Studies, follow us. We're looking for folks who want to join us in our celebrations and in our classes. Come through.
There you go. You heard it yourself. So once again, Dr. Amber Gonzalez has been our guest live here at Dia De Los Muertos. Thank you very
Cool,
much.
awesome. Thank you so much.
And you just finished watching an interview with Professor of Ethnic Studies Dr. Amber Gonzalez from 2020. And now we're back to our live programming here on Hornet Radio.
And we welcome you back to 2025 Dia De Los Muertos. I'm Ryan Osborne, joining you live here from the quad on the campus of Fullerton College. Ryan Osborne alongside Mark Pavlovich and Sabrina Villegas Gomez. Did I get that right?
Vallejo Gomez.
Vallejo Gomez. You'll have to forgive me. I apologize.
Yeah, I got it right.
See,
both
he
times I
can
said
get it right. That's the thing. So when you look at what you have done here so far, of course, you just went through the opening, but you have gotten an opportunity to kind of see what everything is about here. As a student, what is it like to be able to see a celebration like this on campus?
It feels really good to see, knowing that the school is proud of Hispanic students like me, and they like to celebrate this event with us.
It's interesting you mention that because you look at Fullerton College as a whole, they do want to put a very big emphasis on Hispanic students, making sure that they feel welcome, making sure that they feel understood. Was Dia de los Muertos something that was celebrated in your household growing up?
Yes, it's always, well, not always. It hasn't always been celebrated in my house, but recently it has been, yeah.
Now,
Was it celebrated in your house?
No, not at all.
So do they celebrate it in Colombia? Now, I thought, no, they don't.
No, not at all. In fact, also, if you look at the little sheet here that I got here, it specifically says Mexico and Northern Central America. So what I thought was interesting in researching this is the fact that you find a lot of different countries in Central America and then also some spots in South America, but it's not really all that widespread in South America.
Well, and you know what I found out about this too in doing my research? A lot of this comes about because of the Judeo-Christian people who came to certain areas in the world and spread the world of Christianity. And you had other groups that already had their religion, so you got that transition of the two religions, and that's where I read where it wasn't in all Hispanic places in the world, because some of those places, like Colombia at the time, didn't have the priest and everybody in their area. And so therefore that transition, they had their own place where their ancestors would go. Then you have somebody walking in saying, okay, well, your religion's fine about going to another place, but it's not the place you think it is. And there was this mixture of, so it's a combination of ideology when it came to religion that now molded into the Day of the Dead or All Saints Day.
And you mentioned All Saints Day, Day of the Dead, All Souls Day as well. Sabrina, I know you mentioned that it was something that has been celebrated in your household at times, but how much did you know about Dia De Los Muertos prior to the events here at Fullerton College?
I've known a lot as it comes to celebrating the holiday. Um, I'm just happy to see that this is something the college celebrates.
And you look at the celebration too. Directly behind us, we have people on the stage. We have people who are celebrating with the clubs here on campus, also through food here, celebrations through showing what ofrendas are, how they are set up, what is included in an ofrenda. And Mark, I'll bring it over to you. You look at Fullerton College, and it was something that I was talking about earlier. Fullerton College as a whole has been doing this now for 30 years. Of course, you take the year off for COVID, but overall, 30 years in total. The quad has looked different. The library looked different. Buzzy used to be out here. Many things have changed at Fullerton College, but this has stayed not exactly the same, I should say, but this has remained a constant.
Yeah, but the thing that's changed here, Ryan, we had talked to the Asian Club about coming on the air. I went over there. They have an ofrenda that they have. So will I say their beliefs through Asian philosophy might be similar to Hispanic philosophy? So therefore, they can do the same thing a Hispanic family can do. You have the Asian Club doing today in spirit. And I think that's what really makes today sort of special, because I know everybody says it's a Hispanic festival, but here at Fullerton College, it's an international festival. It's not just one group that's celebrating it. It's a mixture of groups and a mixture of ideologies that are celebrating Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead.
And
you like the way I said that?
I did. You got it right. You're good to go. Sabrina, I'll bring it back over to you. You look at everything that's going on behind you. When you do get the opportunity to walk around and be able to see all the different setups and the different stations and the different workshops that there are out here, is there anything that is really exciting you to go out and look at?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see all the different ofrendas out here, because I feel like it's also very vulnerable for someone to put up their ofrenda, because they're letting other people see their loved ones who have passed away, and I feel like that's something very touching that I'd look forward to seeing.
It's interesting when you say that, because that's actually an aspect that I hadn't thought of. Because Mark, and I'll bring it back to Sabrina, but Mark, that's something that's not really thought of all too much, is the fact that if someone is bringing out an ofrenda, it can be emotional, it's very familial, and it's also something that's very meaningful to them. It's something that is dear to their heart, whether it be who is on the ofrenda, what objects are on the ofrenda, and then how they choose to set it up as well are very different.
Yeah, people put a lot of like their loved ones' favorite things on the ofrendas. Like if it was a kid, they put like their favorite toy or any person's favorite thing, especially food. They would put their favorite foods. For me, I put favorite foods, favorite candies. If there's anything they requested often, you could put that. Just anything like that you would offer someone if they were coming to your home.
Here's my big question to you, Sabrina, because, well, my dad passed away. We had a big party at my dad's house. And my dad was a diabetic, used to sneak candy. He had big old hands. He'd sneak candy. So when we had the party, we basically said to everybody, they said, can I bring something? I said, yeah, bring candy. Your favorite candy, because my dad would be sneaking it. And we had a big party. We told stories about Bob when he was in the Marine Corps and everything else. and even about other family members. And we laughed and talked about, he loved to tell jokes. We talked about the jokes. My dad was a drinker, so we had booze all over the place. And it was that sort of thing. When your family or other families you may know celebrate Day of the Dead, is it more of a party, because that's what this feels like out here, or is it more of a somber, quiet day thinking about that person?
It could be one or the other. It could be a combination of both. For most people, it is like a party because you are celebrating their life. Or some people have a day where it is more somber, and then other days they decide to celebrate. Yeah.
Because I'm afraid that the day I go, you and Corey Naylor will stick out one picture. There'll be nothing on there. And you guys will be making all the food your way, which will ruin my Day of the Dead. I will come back and haunt you two because you will not put anything on my ofrenda that represents me. There will be no Fig Newtons. There will be no chocolate chip cookies with big chunks of chocolate.
Mark, I can already tell you what's going to be on your ofrenda right now. It's going to be a Green Bay Packers candle, in addition to a San Francisco Giants pan dulce. Both of those will be bookending an empty bowl of chili.
And I won't get another one, will I? I'll only get one.
No, only the one.
I won't be able to go to the next world because I will have no more chili. I'll get stuck halfway.
But that is one thing that, Sabrina, I'll bring it back over to you because you were saying it just a few moments ago. It can be somber. It can be joyous.
Can be nutty.
It can be nutty. But it's also something that if it is a joyous thing for someone to put something on an ofrenda, as someone who has seen this celebration before, maybe even in your home as well, what is it like to be able to get those good memories of someone and say, man, I remember when this person used to ask for this, or they used to go and grab this, and you put it on the ofrenda? How does that make you feel?
It feels good just remembering all the good times. You could joke about how much they would take or how much they would eat, and if they ate a lot of it, you could maybe put a pile of their favorite thing on there, just to be like, even through the dead, you'll still have all of this. Yeah.
And it gives you an opportunity to, even while you are still here, be able to think back and say, man, I remember those good times. I remember being on my dad, my brother, my sister, my mom, about not going for that second bowl of candy, not going for that second soda, but then you put it up there on the ofrenda and you go, those were very good times. Those were times I can think back to. Those were times that I now cherish going back to it. You look at everything that's going on behind us, of course, the crowd now gathering to watch all the different performances that are happening on the stage. Sabrina, we're going to get you an interview coming up here in just a moment. But before we do that, we very quickly want to let people know that everyone here at Hornet Radio wants to thank the students who have joined us here on the broadcast, helping us get up on the air. Sabrina, Wade, we also want to thank Thomas for being out here as well. All their work for being able to come out here and say, Mark, Ryan, I know it's hot, I know I'm hungry, and I know that I could be doing other things right now, but I want to help come out here and make sure that this broadcast is going.
But this is what Fullerton College is. This is how you learn here. We do that motto over at Hornet Radio with Joe, myself, you, Corey. We believe in hands-on learning. We will teach the fundamentals, but then you got to get out and do. You got to be if you want to be in this industry. And I give it to you and Joe because you two want students to go out and do it. And I'm going to promote the program for just a quick second here, because if you really want to do, and you look at us two yappies that are out here, Ryan and myself, sitting next to the charming Sabrina, you'll say to yourself, I think I could do that. Well, then come on over to Fullerton College. Check out all the classes in Hornet Media, be it journalism, be it on camera, in radio, multimedia. We still have a TV, cinema department. Learn the technical side because you don't think you're as good looking as me to be on camera. Then you want to be on the technical side. But there's the thing that if you come on out here, you can learn how to be in this industry. Ryan Osborne, ESPN, myself, working in the industry for 37 years, Joe over at KTLA, and a multitude of others, Marie Perez, Manny Pacheco, when he was here, all of them have worked in the industry. Corey Nalen in the world of sport, somebody like LeBron Haylock who came through our program. Check out Fullerton College, and the thing that's interesting, you get to enjoy events like this where Sabrina said, hey, I heard you guys are doing something. Can I be a part of it? And that's why this lovely young lady next to me is sitting here in front of the camera right now on Hornet Radio.
Yeah, and speaking of Hornet Radio, like Mark just mentioned, you can launch your broadcasting career with Fullerton College's radio program. Get that hands-on experience that Mark was just talking about. From behind the mic to behind the scenes, we will prepare you for what comes next. Now, very quickly, I also do want to promote Hornet Radio and where you can listen to us live. You can actually tune into Hornet Radio, which is your campus soundtrack. We are streaming live with the best mix of music, talk, and local programming. Whether you're studying, commuting, or just hanging out, Hornet Radio keeps you connected to campus life. You can listen online now. Just go to fchornetmedia.com, go to the Hornet Media tab, and then go down to Hornet Radio. You can listen to us live there, or go to live365.com and take a look at Hornet Radio. Now, as we're going to step away, you're going to watch and say, hey, how come everyone's scattering? Everyone's leaving. Where's everyone going? We're going to bring back an interview coming up in just a couple of moments, live from Dia De Los Muertos, the 30th Dia De Los Muertos on campus here at Fullerton College. So stick with us right here on Hornet Radio. We'll be right back with some more content here from Dia De Los Muertos in 2025.
Hey, this is Wade Donahoe here from Hornet Radio. We'll get right back to the live content in a few minutes. In the meantime, enjoy this interview from the 2020 Dia De Los Muertos celebration with Dr. Amber Gonzalez.
So welcome back to Dia De Los Muertos, Day of the Dead here at Fullerton College. We are now joined by Dr. Amber Gonzalez, myself, Ryan Osborne, joined by Noah Alvarez. Dr. Gonzalez, when you look at Dia De Los Muertos, the first thing that you got to think is this was pulled off excellently.
Thank you.
When you look at all the people who are here, in the last 10 years specifically, this event has truly taken on a life of its own. 26 years now that Fullerton College has emphasized this event, that they have been able to put this on. When you look at this year's event, what makes it special?
For me, it's really the community members who come every year, the alumni who come back, and just that sense of connection that people have with one another. And in a lot of ways, it feels like a family reunion because folks who went to school here decades ago, or folks come back who are, are now adults with children, and maybe they both went through the process of coming here. So it's like these multiple generations of folks coming specifically for this event.
And you mentioned that, it's 26 years now. So now you have the opportunity. We just spoke to Gil Perez, who has been a professor here at Fullerton College and in the radio industry for years now, well over 35 years. He remembers when this event kind of got its start, wasn't really emphasized that much, but it got its start here on campus. And you mentioned the parents who maybe they themselves came to Fullerton College. They've had kids. They're now bringing their kids to this event. Just moments ago, we had Jonathan on the air. His family has been here for a while celebrating this event as well. When you see those different generations coming here and celebrating, whether they're in the face paint, whether they're doing the dancing as well, showing off their culture, does it give you a sense of pride?
Definitely. It's definitely makes me really, really proud to work here, to be on this campus. And honestly, that was one of the reasons, if not the reason, that I felt like this was the place where I needed to be, to call home, to start my career here. Because really immediately coming to campus, so many folks who are just even employed here are alumni because they really care about this campus. And I've seen that this is my 6th year here on campus, just really seeing the connection that folks have to the campus, to each other. And it just makes me so proud to be a Hornet in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things, a lot of areas where I think transformation needs to happen. And there are a lot of areas and moments that are amazing and wonderful and make me so happy to work here.
So when looking at a personal level, the Day of the Dead, the celebration of the holiday, ¿qué tan importante para usted y su familia el día?
Mi familia no celebré la Dia de los Muertos cuando era niña. No más, yo aprendí de la celebración cuando estuve en colegio, en Cal Poly Pomona, para un clase. Y aprendí de la celebración y qué significa. Y tengo como 15 años celebrando Día de los Muertos. Entonces es un como reclamación de mi cultura, de mi historia. Y ya, sí, tengo como 15 años celebrando ese evento.
So now as you look around and you walk around the event in the quad here, you see a lot of ofrendas, you see a lot of giving away food, the tacos, the tamales, and people selling drinks and stuff like that. How difficult was it to get this all settled?
You know, it takes a lot of work, and I will say, so one of the reasons why I'm so happy to work here and so proud to be a Hornet, it's really because of the people in my department, and that includes the faculty, that includes the students who give their time, who give their energy and their love to really making this event a success. It's definitely a family effort. We all contribute something different. We all have different skills and talents that we offer. And it's just really great to be able to draw on those different strengths that every individual has. We're a small family, we're a small team, but it's amazing to me the scale of this event is pulled off by 5 faculty and our students.
Now, when we look at this interview, we're being joined by Dr. Amber Gonzalez, who is a professor here on campus. We also want to bring in that Spanish aspect. It's multiple languages that are being spoken here tonight, and Noah just went into it moments ago. Pero, Doctora Gonzalez, cuando miras a Dia de los Muertos, muchas personas piensan que, eso nomás es Halloween para los mexicanos.
Sí.
Eso es muy diferente de lo que muchas personas piensan.
Sí. Sí, es totalmente diferente, no es Halloween y actualmente, normalmente tenemos el evento en el último jueves en octubre y ese año el último jueves es Halloween y decidimos que no queríamos tener ese evento en Halloween porque hay gente que piensan que es igual y es muy diferente. Día de los Muertos es para honrar to honor sus antepasados, su familia. Es para invitar los espíritus para venir a celebrar también. Halloween es como y sabes que en los Estados Unidos los holidays son muy diferentes de los raíces. Nomás es para gastar dinero, para comprar cosas. The original meaning it's lost. Entonces no queríamos hacer algo así con ese día, los días de los muertos, porque es muy diferente, es muy especial, es nuestras raíces.
And myself, I'm Colombian. I didn't grow up with Dia de los Muertos. We don't have a Dia de los Muertos celebration. As I was telling Noah, Mark, and Joseph earlier, it was more of an emphasis on, the family kind of gathered one day out of the year. It could have been June 17th. It could have been March the 19th. It was one day out of the year where the entire family got together, but it was a random day. And it wasn't necessarily about Dia de los Muertos, in which you celebrate the people who have lived before you, the people who have passed and made your family what they are today. When you look at it from the Mexican culture, from the Central American culture, all these different countries that have this opportunity to celebrate who their families are, do you also see in the people who are performing, the people who are attending, do you also see them just kind of well up with this sense of, yes, this is who I am?
Yeah, and I think one of the really amazing things about the way the event has transformed over time, because the celebration has become something very public. It's moved from, it's still celebrated in the home, it's still very private in a lot of ways, but it's moved to be a public celebration and a public spectacle in the 1970s because of the Chicanx movement and folks, you know, being outwardly proud of their culture, bringing attention to different social issues, to different topics. And so this opens up the space because it's not just about, you know, you have to be Mexican to participate and it has to look a very particular way. One thing that we find is that so many different cultures celebrate their ancestors and look to their ancestors for guidance and have some sort of either a specific day or a holiday or something in their culture or their religion that they celebrate it. And then also, you know, bringing in this idea of bringing awareness to issues. It's really about different folks finding a connection in their own way, whether it's from their culture, their religion, or bringing awareness to an issue that they care about. There's really something for everyone here.
Well, thank you. So appreciate
thank you.
everything that
Thank
you've
you.
done here tonight. It's a beautiful event here going on campus. Once again, Ryan Osborne, Noah Alvarez talking with Dr. Amber Gonzalez, professor of ethnic studies here on campus, one of the biggest organizers of this entire event, Dia De Los Muertos, in its 26th annual, I guess I wouldn't say 26th annual event, but it's 26th edition of this annual event here at Fullerton College. Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Gonzalez.
much. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Go
FC
ahead.
Ethnic Studies, FC Ethnic Studies. Follow us. We're looking for folks who want to join us in our celebrations and in our classes. Come through.
There you go. You heard it yourself. So once again, Dr. Amber Gonzalez has been our guest live here at Dia De Los Muertos. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And you just finished watching an interview with Professor of Ethnic Studies Dr. Amber Gonzalez from 2020. And now we're back to our live programming here on Hornet Radio.
instructor, and I teach printmaking.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
Welcome to Hornet Radio. We're back here on Dia De Los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, or All Saints Day, where you may look at it. Not when we talk about what's going on behind us, there is a sense of art that runs through this entire night tonight. It's not just about spiritual, it's about sensual. And when you talk about sensation and sensual, that's touch, that's look, and everything else. That's art. And when you talk about art, you talk about the two people sitting to my right, because we probably have one of the finest art departments here in California, maybe if not the nation, when you look at the instructors and what they teach our students here. And Tom, I'm lucky enough to have you sitting next to me, because you've been associated with the art department for how many years now?
Oh, since 2007.
2007. Yeah. So you're in print, is what you told me, but what else? Is that the only aspect of art that you deal with?
No, I do. I teach basic design. I was hired to do foundation courses, basic design, color theory, but I also taught the printmaking classes before that. So when I got hired full-time in 2015, I continued on with printmaking, and then I'm continuing on with the foundation. But we've hired some core part-timers to teach some of the foundation classes. So I've been adding more printmaking classes. So I have a screen printing class, a relief printing class, introductory to printmaking, and intermediate printmaking.
So when somebody says printmaking, I know most of us will look at print and we'll say, oh, well, I'm going to walk into a shop and somebody's strictly looking for advertising. They're going to do some signs, and they end their world of print right there. The average person, but that's not what print is when we look at printmaking.
That's not the only thing. Yeah, printmaking is anything from, commercial printing for advertising and informational, brochures and things like that. Or you can, I'm more on the fine art side of it, where you make limited edition prints. It's basically an arm of the publishing. So instead of publishing words, we publish images, and not from writers, from visual artists.
Okay.
And some of those artists are printmaking artists in their own right and print their own works. So there's a whole tradition of printmakers, men and women, who consider themselves artists and then make prints. And then there's a whole class of artists, printers, that work for other artists and print their work, print small editions, like I do monotypes with artists in my print shop outside of the school, which are single prints. Or you can do what's called contract printing, where you're printing multiples. So maybe I work with an artist who wants to transform one of their images into a screen print, and then we come up with the number they want to print, 50, 60, 75 prints, and then we come up with the price point, and then sometimes they assist me in that. Other times, we make sure the image is what they want. They sign off on what's called the bonetier, the first print, and they go, that's what I want it to look like, and then they go on their merry way, and then I make it with my assistants. Morgan's helped me printing before for other people, and we do it here on campus too. Carol Hankin and I started a program in 2017 called the Fullerton College Art Press. And so we have a visiting artist series every spring, and we invite the artists to make a print with us too. So we've made prints with April Bay, artist April Bay, Abel Alejandre. We're making a print with Pablo Acevedo, who was our artist in residence a couple years ago. I'm trying to think, several others. Chris Sickles was another one. So we do screen prints. I've done woodblock prints, and it's been a great experience.
It's funny you said about Pablo, because actually if you go up to the radio station in
yes,
700
you have
building,
one of his things. Yeah,
we have one of his things, because
he printed that here in his residency.
Yeah, he did. You guys were doing the thing out in the parking lot with the steamroller. I call it a steamroller.
It's fine,
from the old days.
Yeah.
And I happened to say, hey, we did a whole thing about it. you know, could we get a print? And he looked and said, yeah, sure. Will you sign it? We said, yeah. And then next week, after you guys framed it, we get this beautiful piece, and everybody was going, where are we going to put it? Where are we going to put it? And I finally said to Ken, our dean, if you can't find any place, I've got a wonderful wall, because I have all sorts of prints at my house, originals and everything. I'll take it at my house. And they all just sort of stared at me, and they didn't know. I was serious. I was going to look at people and say, if you're going to stick it in a closet, don't. You can have it back when you want it, but it can hang in my house till you want it back. And, of course, you work hand in hand with Tom. He's already told me that on the print side. So I'm going to throw this at you. And then, Tom, you chime in, because sometimes people think prints are just strictly reproduction of an artist's work. Yet in many cases, the prints themselves are the original work. And people, when you say, oh, I've got a print of so-and-so, they look at you and go, oh, that's nice. They don't think it's the original piece. So, I mean, where does it discern the original from the copy?
I guess like in the way you could print it, like you could use different colors and then do different editions in different colors and stuff like that. So that way you kind of have like your own artistic spin on it. But yeah.
So each print, some people who have, you know, thought about printmaking as an art form and not just a reproduction of an image, they consider even the prints within an edition, they're original. Each print is an original print, especially if it's hand pulled, or even if you're using what's called tradigital, where it's maybe half digital and then half traditional printing. There's the element of the human touch and hand in there, and not every print is going to be 100% identical. You know, machines can't even print 100% identical, pretty close to it. But even with humans, you're printing, it's hand printing, and each one of those is a single individual image on its own, even though it's part of an edition.
So it's just because I do one, if I do a second one, it might be just slightly different. Therefore, it's an original.
Yeah, it could be.
Right.
Yeah.
When you look at it.
Yeah.
When you look at the world of, because being an old guy, I could go back to the, you know, what was out there. I mean, many times we'll get the prints from the 60s and everything else and the old concerts and things like that. And the value factor on them is so high now. Is it because of the fact that they're out of date, or is it because of the way they were printed?
Well, but okay, let's say you had, especially from the 60s, if you've got old posters from the 60s, they were either probably printed on an A.B. Dick 2-color printer, because that's what a lot of artists were doing then, 2-color, 4-color process printing off of offset litho machines. But there's a lot of hand stuff involved in those, or that you got a screen print, or it could be a relief print. And it depends on, like, you know, how they were, you know, how are they lasting through time? Are they, and people set the market. So you could have something that was printed off a machine in the thousands, but if there's only 5 left and they're really sought after, the designer happens to be somebody that people really like, then we set the value. So you set the value for what you like, right? So you might buy something that collectors don't think anything of, and it's never going to be worth anything in the collector's, you know, world, but for you it's priceless, right? Other times you might have a print or an artwork that becomes popular that people want, and then all of a sudden you have a $20,000 print on your hand or something, you know. That happened with a lot of different artists over time.
You know, the world has changed. I mean, especially my industry. I worked in entertainment for 37 years up in Hollywood, and we see the invasion of AI into our world. And, you know, the make-believe actors, that's what I call them, because they don't really exist. They fade away like putting Kool-Aid in a glass of water, and it becomes dispersed. Is that happening in the world of print, where technology is taking over at such a range that eventually both of you will look at me and say, yeah, it's print, but?
Well, AI is a whole other field as far as the actual image making, right? That's just so foreign to us. A lot of artists we're not happy with AI because what it's doing is it's just siphoning up what human artists have done, and then it's putting it together. So I'm not really impressed with AI imagery right now as a design element or as an image making element for the end. Maybe for the means, right, as a sketching tool or something like that. But I think I'm just not that impressed with AI. I'd rather see a human interact with the tools that they have to create something that's more humanity-based, I guess, than just an amalgamation of everything. And then you kind of get a cookie-cutter image. Now, I haven't experimented a lot with AI, so somebody might say I don't know what I'm talking about, but right now I'm still drawn more towards the hand, right? And that's not to say we don't use a lot of technology in printmaking. The darkroom's gone. We use Photoshop. We use Illustrator. I use the computer. We use printers to print out the transparencies that we're going to use. There's still image makers out there, but those are, I'll go to a special, image setter. We know a guy in Orange County that makes beautiful images from a traditional image setter. That's a machine, It's an older machine that does amazing transparencies that you're going to then take and put onto your, onto your matrix. And I know I'm talking
Well, that's okay
jargon
with me.
here right now, but there's some printmaking that is immediate, dry point, and certain types of screen printing done without any of the photo stenciling or anything. That can be a very immediate type of image making. Then there's process printmaking where the hand is somewhat removed because you're using machines, and the digital component is part of that. So where's AI going to go? I don't know.
Well,
I don't have a crystal ball on AI and what it's going to do to the visual artists. Visual artists have never really had a union. They've had guilds. There's certain unions like the animation, animators have a union to help protect themselves, but visual artists per se and designers have not had like a union, like a musicians union that's watching out for them. We've always had to kind of we've always been gig workers, and having AI come in and take over things, it's just going to be another thing where we're just going to pivot and we're going to find a way to stay in business.
Well, in the world of art, I mean, especially what you talked about is that you always wanted to be a little bit unique. You never wanted to have somebody say, "Oh, you remind me of," because as soon as you get somebody saying, "You remind me of," then it's not you. You remind me of the person I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your work. I'm talking about their work. When it comes down to art, where, like you said, with AI, which is true in my industry, it's taking bits and pieces. So it's taking part of your work, part of my work, rolling it all together. We all know what part is ours, but other people are out there that don't have the eyes that you two have will say, "Oh, look what AI created," and you want to say, well, all they did was steal.
Right.
They didn't have an original idea. They took other people's original ideas, which is somebody comes from a world of art, not your art, but my other visual art, bothers me because then where does the creativity go? Does it just sort of vanish because everybody says, I don't need to be creative anymore, I'll just do that? And in saying that, where is the art world? Is the art world growing as far as you two are concerned? Is it stagnated? Or is it shrinking when we look at the world of art? I mean, besides the big steal at the Louvre for all the money, I'm talking about everyday art where people go out and buy. I still do. I bought a couple pieces. Actually, I bought a print piece. I had a print piece when Michael Jackson passed away. AIG had printed all his tickets for his last concert. I have a friend that works in rock and roll. He got me 4 sheets of the tickets, and I had them all framed and everything. To me, they're pieces of art.
Oh, yeah.
And I've given them to friends. My friend Corey Nalen was just here on his last anniversary. I gave them to him and his wife because it's unique.
Right.
It's
right,
different.
Right.
So in saying that, where is the art world going? Even if it's the world of just what you're in, printing. Is it growing? Is it shrinking? Are the kids getting involved? And do you see hope for tomorrow from an artistic point of view?
Wow, that's a big question.
It is. It's a long question.
Yeah. Okay.
I would
Go
have
ahead.
to say that it is growing because even just tonight out here, we had so many kids coming by the print booth, making their own prints, and like they were just so excited to do that. So I would say it's for sure growing. You know, we have a lot of students in the art department, and we got the art club. They helped out, made the stamps, so they've been involved, and yeah, I think people like to get involved in the arts, for sure.
Right.
Well, I know Ryan and I do because once again we saw Saya and she invited us to another one of your openings. We tried to be there as often as possible.
Right, right.
I love it. Ryan and I were there one day, and then Joe was with us. We took a walk around your displays just with a camera and talked like we knew what we were talking about and did it that way because every time I walk in there, I love seeing what I think somebody tried to create. And then when I get to talk to the artist and listen to them tell me when you guys took fashion and architecture and rolled it together. I love talking to everybody when we were talking about fashion, being a theater guy, and have worked in costumes, saying, okay, why did you create it? Why did you do this? I like the word why when it comes to art.
Right.
Why did you pick those colors?
Right.
Why did you do it this way? And I want to know that. Not saying that all art has a deeper meaning.
Well, I think as long as we have people that like you that are interested in collecting art or appreciating art, whether that's going to museums, galleries, outdoor events like this, then I think art's going to survive. As far as the larger art, you know, there's many different levels within the art market. I don't know what's going on financially right now with the contemporary art market, you know, because there's, you know, there's auction houses, there's buyers of art, there's collectors who kind of set the market. On our level for printmaking, you know, we're down a little bit, I guess, if you want to call it the food chain. And I think there's a thriving printmaking community nationwide. And that's where technology, and I think social media has like brought printmaking out of the kind of the mystery or shadows. And, you know, there's Hello Print Friend, which is on Instagram and YouTube, and they showcase printmakers from all over the country. And there's just all these amazing things happening because of social media. So as much as I want to, you know, I may not want to always be on social media, or that there's a lot of negative that come with social media, there's also some good things that are coming out of social media that are helping keep traditional and spreading words and knowledge of printmaking to a younger audience. I see a lot of young printmakers out there, screen printing, doing relief printing. Not so much lithography, but I know on Hello Print Friend, there's a lot of lithographers now in the South, in the Midwest. It's kind of, unfortunately, California, California kind of gave up on printmaking in some respects, and that's why we wanted to bring it back at Fullerton College, you know, to keep that traditional life, just like ceramics, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just like sculpture, painting and drawing. And we have a robust digital arts program, and that's part of art too. So I think I don't think art is going to go anywhere. It's going to change. Things are going to ebb and flow as far as styles and technology. But like Morgan said, there was a lot of people out here today just enjoying visual culture on their terms, you know, coming and working with us.
Well, Morgan,
that's not going to go away.
I'm going to go back to you for a second. Sorry, Tom, didn't mean to
go
interrupt
ahead.
you, but I'm going to go back because he brought up the youth aspect of it. And being two older gentlemen, we have certain things that we've looked at, the way we've looked at it through life, and things that we may say, well, this reminds me of the past, but you're the future.
Yeah.
Because you're that youngster. You're the one who's going to, you know, if I were lucky enough to be around 30 years from now, I'd be talking about what you're creating the way I'm talking to Tom about what he has created. So when you look at the art world and you talk about there's a lot of students there, where is your imagination in the art world? Because it seems like everything's been done, but as soon as I say that, somebody's going to do something that everybody's going to stand back and go, wow, I never thought of that. So where is it for you?
Well, that's a big question too. I just think like seeing everyone's creativity, like everyone is always going to do something a little bit different than you would do, but like that's where you get to like see other people's perspectives and what they like their little spin on it, you know. So that's just really exciting and all of that.
You know, Morgan took my screen printing class. That's the first one you took, right?
Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah, and Morgan had her iPad, and I would give the assignments, and Morgan just came up. She would just sit right down and get right to work, and that's the kind of student you want, right? Someone who she doesn't show up to class late. She doesn't mess around. She gets energized by my energy, and then we feed off one another, and then she just created wonderful prints. And even for this one, you know, we came up with the idea of the skull and then people making stamps and then stamping around the skull, and she's like, what if we did a candle, a votive candle too? And I was like, I didn't even think of that. You know, you can only do so much as an individual, but when you work in a pair, when you work in a triad, dyad, whatever it is, you're going to come up with a lot more ideas. And that's what I love about teaching. My students teach me as much, if not more, than I'm showing them, you know, and it's just like give and take. And I think that's and that's what's great about visual art and visual artists. We like to like feed off one another.
Yeah.
It's like a little family, and we come together, we brainstorm, and we make things, and then we go our separate way, and then we're kind of doing this, you know, coming back and forth. And Morgan's gotten really involved in museum studies, and it's just talk about that.
Yeah,
what you want to do with that?
So I'm obviously in the museum studies program, and we've been putting on the show that we just had, Dark Room, and the new show is opening this Thursday.
There we go. Put a plug in for that.
Out of Bounds Displace. The opening reception is 4 to 6. So we hope everyone can come out.
And that's curated by Jasmine McNeil, one of our new gallery.
Yeah, and it's an amazing
museum
show.
Studies
This
professor.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you got to stop by.
Yeah. So
Well,
there's artists just doing stuff.
We'll
everywhere.
be there. Ryan and I will be there. And of course, when you look at art, I mean, somebody once said, what's more important, knowledge or imagination? And somebody says, well, knowledge tells you everything that is. Imagination will tell you everything that might be. And when I look at artists, you two bring me hope for the simple reason you will always look at what might be. The good, the bad, the indifferent, the dark. You will always bring your thoughts where everybody goes to either one of you. Wow, and you did that. Why? And then it makes me think. It makes me wonder, would I have done it that way? Why did she use those colors? Why did he use those shapes? And that's what I love about going in. And I'm not an artist. My dad was, in the sense of with brush or anything else. My dad was. And I would look at some of the things that people do and just get taken back by what you can create just because of what you see. And then you can put it down on either canvas, paper, make it with clay, take a piece of granite and go whack, whack with a chisel and a hammer. And I'm looking at something and say, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
And you tell me that you saw it inside the rock. I'm just always amazed by people who have the imaginations you two do, the open-mindedness, and the way that both of you embrace the world. I don't even know you, yet I know you do that.
Yes.
Because you would not be artists if you can't. And I appreciate everything you do as an educator.
Yeah, thank you.
And I appreciate everything you do as somebody who wishes to be educated and follow a dream.
For sure.
If you're over here at Fullerton, if you want to walk into the world of art, if you just want to come and visit to see what they do here, come to the gallery. We have a show opening up on this Thursday. Ryan Osborne and I will be there from Hornet Radio. Make sure you show up or just knock on the door and say, hey, what goes on here? Because somebody like Tom will say, you don't know what printing is all about? Step into my class.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you. Doesn't mean you have to take it because you may not like it, but at least you know. And if you could see the shirts they're wearing, I'd say to that, that's a work shirt, but I don't think so. I think that's an everyday shirt. And, of course, if you don't know the man who's on her shirt, then you've never watched television and any PBS art show in your life.
Yeah.
I want to thank both of you for being here. Fullerton College Art Department this Thursday. Make sure you're here, just like Ryan Osborne and I will be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you. Okay, we'll see you next Thursday.
All right.
That was awesome. Is this your phone?
That was cool.
No.
That's mine. fine.
So we got live stream, huh?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
All right, and welcome back to Dia De Los Muertos. I'm Wade Donahoe here at Hornet Radio, and I'm joined by
Sabrina Vallejo.
And today we just wanted to kind of do a little comparison between the history of Halloween versus, the history of Dia De Los Muertos and how they differ and how, they're not the same kind of holiday. They're very different. And I just wanted to kind of open up to you, like, what do you think are kind of like the differences between them on the side, I guess, of Dia De Los Muertos, maybe?
They are very different, like you said. Like, Halloween is kind of just a day to, like, have fun and be like a kid again. You can dress up as whatever you want and, like, go trick-or-treating. It's just, like, a very fun holiday. And Dia de los Muertos is very much more cultural. It's more about celebrating the lives of those who have passed, who were your friends and family, and just giving homage to them in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And definitely how you're saying, like, the modern day Halloween is definitely very commercialized. It's very much more about, like, having fun, dressing up. It's about making money. It's a business. But the history of Halloween, to my understanding, it's an Irish holiday and referred to as Samhain, but spelled Samhain. So people sometimes say that it's Samhain, but it's actually Samhain. And Samhain actually is a little bit similar in the sense that it's a belief that, this is a time of the year where the veil between, like, the living and, like, the dead or ancestors or any kind of, like, spirits is the thinnest. And but the belief when it comes to Samhain is that it's not really a good time. It's kind of a scary time dealing with, spirits who maybe wish ill intent, which was what caused people to start wearing masks and dressing up so that they look a little bit like the same as these spirits, and to kind of, like, defer the attention away from themselves and to defer any kind of harm that could come to them. And that's also where we get the history of jack-o'-lanterns, which originally not pumpkins, because those did not originate in Ireland. They originated over in, like, the Americas, just like Dia De los Muertos. But it was actually turnips, but it was a way of kind of, like, lighting your way home on that dangerous night. And it's supposed to be held on the shortest day of the year, the longest night of the year. And it's viewed as kind of like a bit of a New Year's. So yeah, it's very, very different kind of, like, origins from Dia De los Muertos, where it's a focus on family, heritage, and it's a beautiful holiday, whereas Samhain is very much not necessarily that. But yeah.
Is there anything you've seen tonight that you got very interested in?
Definitely the dancing, I think, is the most interesting for me. I especially loved the folklorical dancers that just exited off the stage right now. They're line dancing. But before this, there was folklore dancing, and I thought, the skirts are just absolutely beautiful. I find them mesmerizing. They remind me of like certain kinds of, like, fish that have, like, just beautiful, like, flowing fins in the water. And I know it's probably not necessarily
together to enjoy the food, enjoy the music and the dances, and also the people willing to just to give as an example, and I feel like that takes a lot of strength.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. I was walking past some of the ofrendas that are set up, and the Sober Club has one, and I didn't get a close look at it, but they had a lot of really interesting stuff there. A lot of people that I'm assuming that they've lost to battles of addiction, perhaps, and they had, you know, some informational kind of stuff on how to identify all of that, and I just thought it was a very beautiful way of commemorating those people and respecting them and showing love for those people that it was kind of moving. I wish I'd stayed a little bit longer to look more deeper into it, but yeah, absolutely. Do you know anything more about like the significance of the ofrenda specifically?
Yeah, you put your loved one's picture up on the ofrenda so that they have a guide of coming home to you. And you need to put their picture up so they know how to come home. And if you don't, that's your way of saying I remember you. And if you don't have their picture up, it's kind of like they're kind of in the darkness and they don't really know where to go or how to find you. So when this time comes around, it's very important that you acknowledge them and you put their picture up so they can find their way.
Awesome. That's very beautiful. I love that. And joining with us today is Eli. Hello, Eli.
Hi.
How are you enjoying the event tonight so far?
It's pretty fun. I've been running around back and forth, kind of getting some video shots for the Hornet.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And you're the editor-in-chief of the Hornet.
I am.
Yes,
yeah.
okay. Can you tell us a little bit about how what drew you into, you know, journalism and like getting into that role and position?
Well, I started as a photographer. I've been into photography since I was maybe, I want to say maybe 15-ish, so about 10 years almost. And I took a journalism class in high school and then completely forgot about it until about 2 years ago when I joined the school's magazine inside Fullerton. And I joined just to get some, what's it called? Experience in editorial photography, and that's when I kind of like fell back into the journalism thing, and it kind of worked because mostly what I was doing was street photography and documentary kind of thing. So photojournalism was like super in line with what I was doing, and then I was on the magazine for a while, and then I switched to the newspaper side because that was more of what I was doing before the street photography, which is what I really missed, and I kind of just fell into that, and I'm like super obsessed with it. I changed my major from photography to journalism. Yeah, that's where I am now.
No, I love that. I love that. You know, I also kind of got into film because I really like the documentary, the live kind of like going around and, you know, kind of getting your boots on the ground. That's very, very cool. And then also, tell us a little bit about your internship that you did over the summer.
Oh yeah, I interned at LA Magazine. I am from LA. I'm from South LA, Compton. And so when I got this internship, oh god, the first day was hectic. Like the first day was when the protests and riots started in LA. It was a couple days, maybe a day or two after it started on June 9th. And I was the only intern that showed up to the office that day because the office is in downtown LA. I got an email that morning at 8 in the morning, and I was already pretty much at the building, and they're like, hey, interns, if you can't come in today because of what's happening, it's too dangerous, it's okay to stay home. So I got to the office, no one was there. Like, not just like no interns, but no one was there. None of the staff was there.
Wow.
I was the only one there. I was talking to the security guard, and he's like, oh, someone should come here like around 9 is usually the first time when people start getting here. So it was like 9:30 now, no one's there yet. And so I had to call my supervisor, his name was Gary, and they had to let me in upstairs, so I was upstairs by myself until like 11 a.m. when the publisher finally got there. And he was like, hey, we are going to go to the protests later. Are you going to stick around? Like, what are you going to do? I was like, oh, that was my plan anyways. I was going to go when I was done here. And he's like, oh, cool. And I ended up tagging along with him and the senior writer and the photographer for the magazine. So my first day was very much like in the middle of everything going on in front of the Immigration Center in downtown LA with the National Guard in front and the protesters and the policemen with their rubber bullets. And I remember that the senior writer, her name was Michelle McPhee, she went and got like a tote bag with gas masks just in case anything happened. Thankfully we didn't need them, but that was my first day and it was so great. I was like, oh my god, this is where I want to be. Like,
Yeah.
This is it, you know?
Yeah, what a trial by fire in the most literal sense.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing that you got thrown straight into it, and that's so very cool. What was your favorite kind of memory from your internship and like things that you learned while you were there?
That's probably my favorite memory.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. It was really good. I got really close with the senior writer. I got really close with the publisher. The photographer, even though I'm a photographer, we got along that day, but I don't know what happened. I just didn't see him again after that, unfortunately. But he was cool. But that's like, that day was kind of like the senior writer, or Michelle, and it's username, was like, okay, you're like my mission. Like, I want to make sure you get the good story. I want to make sure, you know, that you show that you're here.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like set me up. And then throughout my internship, I was doing a lot of my own original photography because I already had background in it, which a lot of the people I really liked because most of the interns were just there for writing for the portfolio, but I was there for both. So I remember one of the stories I worked on, it was about this app called Ice Block. And I had to track down the developer, like on my own, online. I found him on like Blue Sky or something. And then I was like, I don't have anything for the cover photo of this article, like what am I going to do? So I downloaded the app. I downloaded the logo for the app. I put it on my phone on the desk and I took a picture with my camera. So I always took the camera with me. And then I edited it and I uploaded it and I submitted it and they're like, where did you get this picture? And I'm like, I took it. And he's like, what do you mean you took it? Where did you take it from? And I was like, I took it on my desk with my camera. And he's like, oh, cool.
Oh my god.
Like, that was literally, I think it was a couple days after it dropped, so there was like no actual pictures out for it. So sometimes I just had to be creative like that. I did it a couple times with specific things.
Yeah. Wow, that's definitely really that's so fun and interesting. Oh my gosh. I want to ask you, do you think that, you know, given all of the protests that have been, you know, continuously to be like going on and like this is still an ongoing story about all of the stuff going on right now, not just in LA but across the country, do you think that there's any kind of sentiments or kind of like fears or ideas around that going on today on this day of celebration? Of like what's going on with the ICE protest with ICE specifically.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone's so scared. Just yesterday I went to the City Hall meeting in Fullerton for a story I was working on, and the very first thing on their agenda was how the city is going to deal with ICE and how they're going to protect the immigrants here. And it was crazy. That room was packed. That room was never packed. There was nowhere to sit. People were standing in the back of that room. There were kids like from 8th grade to 12th grade who went up to speak in City Hall. In City Hall. What kind of kids do that? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're scared. They're scared for their families. That's all they were talking about. They were asking the council members to like help, basically, and like telling their stories, telling the stories of their grandparents, their parents, like siblings, things that happened to them, and yeah, they ended up voting that they're gonna like revisit it at their next meeting. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, there'll be able to be some resolution that brings a lot of more security and, you know, safety for all of these people. But yeah, bring it back to Dia De Los Muertos. Yeah. I love the face painting that you've just gotten. It looks really nice. Okay. and then also bringing it back to you as well. What is I feel like we've already talked about a little bit of the significance of the face painting, and who is it specifically that the skull face paint is representative of?
It's of La Calavera Catrina.
Okay, yeah.
And it really just represents the people who have passed on, you know, because like when we die, our bodies kind of just turn into skeletons, and it's kind of like our significance of death rather than just like the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Embracing it a little bit too, and like celebrating it. That's very beautiful. So then, I guess you're embracing it right now today, or at least like half of you is embracing it for a little bit right now. But yeah, and then you got that done over at the cosmetology booth, correct?
Yeah. Like right over there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. And how was the experience, I guess?
It was cool. I mean, we didn't really talk much. When the music started, we were all like, oh my god, I want to go dance, but I need to get this. Like, she was in the middle of playing But,
yeah, it looks like they're having a lot of fun over there. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of jealous.
They were playing my song earlier.
Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I already asked this question to you, but I'll ask you, what is your favorite thing that you've kind of seen happening tonight at the Dia De Los Muertos celebration here on campus?
Tonight, I don't know, I haven't been focusing on the performances that are putting on, because I've been more focused on like kind of visual of what's going on in the crowd. So a lot of what I've been seeing is like kids with their families, and it's so cute. It's like some of them are getting their face painted. One of them, when I was over there, one of them was like, I want a Yoshi on my face. And then the cosmetology students were like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But I don't know. I think they did it. They were still there when I left. But that was cute. There was one video that I did get. It's so cute. It was this girl, she was sitting by one of the benches, or she was standing by one of the benches with, I don't know if it was her dad or grandpa, I don't know. But she was like dancing with him. He was holding her, and they were dancing like this, and he was like twirling her around. And I was like, oh my god, this is so sweet. I don't know, that's my favorite thing, just like seeing family come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I work as a tutor here on campus, as well as helping out here at the radio station, and one of my my students is a mother, and she brought her 4 kids over and was getting face paints, and they were watching all the performances, and she's just like, man, I need to head home. I'm so tired right now. I've been on campus all day. But her kids were having such a blast and wanted to go over and join the kids dancing, and it was so precious to see that. And it's beautiful to see how this holiday really brings families together and really brings community together. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's wonderful. This is my second time being here. But how many times have you guys been to Dia De Los Muertos? Yeah, the one on campus.
This will be maybe third?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I think. Yeah.
Math.
Yeah.
Math. Quick math.
Yeah.
And then
I saw it last year, but I didn't really attend. So this is my first time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And you're having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
love to hear that. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I guess then in comparison to the previous celebrations that we've had on campus, what do you think about how this one holds up in comparison to the previous ones that you've been to?
Honestly, I haven't been to a lot of the other ones because I'm always busy. This one's at night, so it's easier for me to get to it. But from what I've seen in the other, I don't know. I mean, Fullerton's very good at putting on cultural events. I think, like the Lunar New Year one, that one was really good. I didn't go, but I saw like video coverage of it, and that looked really fun. I can't really compare. I haven't been to the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I mean in comparison for this one to the other ones that you've been to in the past.
So the other Martinez
Yes. Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there wasn't as much last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember seeing vendors. There's like vendors that have like your small businesses or something.
Yeah.
Back there. I don't remember seeing them last time, and that's like really cool. Some of them had like the sage and incense and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, I left my money in the classroom. But yeah, I thought that was cool because I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Anything.
I remember we had a couple of them, but not as many as we have this year. Like there's one that's even like set all the way off like the grass area that looks like they're selling sugar skulls.
Like ceramic to paint?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. I didn't go up and talk to them. I was trying to find people to interview. But yeah, they definitely have a lot more this year. I will say one stand that I missed this year is the Veterans Center had an ofrenda last year. And I spoke to one of the guys who works there, and he just had a lot of really beautiful things to say about, honoring like other veterans and like his like other people that he served with. And I thought that was really, really beautiful and really touching. And he was walking around with like really intense incense. I don't remember what it was called, but he was explaining it back then. I'm missing it today. I wish he was here, but I hope he's having a good time celebrating today. But yeah, I don't know. What is your favorite food to have on Dia De Los Muertos to celebrate? And this is open to both of you guys.
Favorite food. I know my favorite drink is campfire. I make it all the time, like year round, even if it's hot. I love that drink. It's my favorite. Food though. Sorry. I don't know. What about you?
I like having pan de muerto. It's one of the more traditional ones, mainly for this holiday.
Yeah. I don't think I've had one. Do you know if they're selling them here?
They were like giving some away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those were the pink ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't grab one. I should have grabbed one. But yeah, I feel like this is probably my first where I got food while I was here, but I only got tacos. So I guess I'll say tacos is my favorite. But yeah, by the time I got there was only the soy rizo and potatoes ones, which I really like, but other people in the line were disappointed they couldn't get chicken or asada. So I don't know. But yeah. Well, if you're still or just tuning in right now, this is I'm Wade Donahoe here with Eli and Sabrina. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad with names. Here on Hornet Radio at Dia De Los Muertos, and just will kind of highlight, I guess, the journalism department which you work in as editor-in-chief of the Hornet, and then you also worked at Inside Fullerton, where you can get the inside scoop with Inside Fullerton magazine. From campus updates to student spotlights, we cover the stories that make FC special, and pick up your print copy around campus or read the latest issue online. Inside Fullerton, your window into campus life. Can you say anything about the recent stories that have been covered either in the Hornet?
The Hornet. Give me a minute. Not a minute, but I have to think because I've been editing stories all day. So sometimes I don't remember what's published and what's not. And I don't want to give you things that aren't.
You don't want to give us a little inside scoop here?
No, it'll be out tomorrow.
Okay.
So stay tuned. But let me see. What was out yesterday? It was one of our staffers went to when we were young over the weekend in Las Vegas.
That's okay. Yeah, that's the music festival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They had like Panic at the Disco, Avril Lavigne, Blink-182, The Offspring, and Weezer.
Weezer.
I love Weezer.
Yeah.
But they were all there, and she wrote a really good piece on it, interviewed some people from there. She even met some old Hornets when we were young. She went into them. That was really cool.
Very
cool.
unexpected.
Yeah, that was I think the most recent one that came out. We just put out our video that we did at Halloween Horror Nights also. That came out a couple days ago, so you can check that out on our YouTube. At the Hornet. Or on our what's it called? Instagram.
Yeah.
It's FC Hornet.
Yes, awesome. I was literally about to say, hey, plug the Hornet, plug the journalism, different socials. But yeah, perfect. what has been your favorite experience, or what has been something that you've learned in your experience as editor-in-chief that you weren't expecting?
How organized I am. I have ADHD. I'm very bad at organization, but from my time on the magazine, the old editor-in-chief that we had, Carla, she was amazing. She was so good at organizing. I was a photo editor, so I would like watch what she did, but I didn't have like the same oversight that she did. But I saw it, and I kind of picked some things up, which I think helped. I have so many spreadsheets. So many spreadsheets. I have like so many different calendars. Every semester we get like a reporter's notebook. If you're on the Hornet or if you're on the Fullerton, we have a reporter's notebook. I never filled mine. Like I always just like wrote a couple pages and then I forgot about it. My notebook this semester, it looks like it went through a war zone or something. Like there's pages ripped. There's like random scribbles here and there. Last night I woke up in the middle of the night because I had an idea for a story, or like I think I fell asleep thinking about the work that I had to do, and then I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I texted myself a story so that I could remember to bring it up to my professor today. And then I woke up in the actual morning, like at 9 in the morning, and I checked my phone, and I texted my friend and said, an accident, and he's like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? It was like gibberish, it was like very misspelled because I was half asleep.
You know, I feel like other people, instead of texting themselves or texting other people, they put it in just a notes app.
Yeah.
Is there a significance as to why you text it to yourself rather than putting it in a notes
I
app?
have too many things in the notes app.
Understandable.
I don't know how many notes. Tabs, I don't even want to talk about how many tabs I have open. I have so many. I just finally cleared them. I had like 150. I'm down to 50.
Okay.
So my phone is full of it. So I either write it down or I'll text myself because I don't text myself often. So it's always going to be right there.
Valid. You know, I'll give you that 100%. Whenever you have inspiration strikes, where's your go-to for where you're going to write down your ideas?
I try to do pen and paper, but if I don't, then it's also in the notes app. But I feel like texting it to myself is also a very good idea. Do you get like a notification on your phone when you do it?
Yeah. So I'll text myself. It's like I'll text myself the bubble is blue, but then I get one like a couple seconds later. It's like I texted myself. So it's like the same thing twice, and I'm like, cool.
That's cool. Like an extra reminder.
Yeah, but it happens like delayed, so I can text myself and then get out of the text really quick, and then it'll come up with a notification. I don't just leave it there so I can see it later.
Yeah. No, that's smart. I like that. I never would have thought to do that, honestly. I've only like accidentally texted myself or like tried to text like my mom, and for whatever reason our phones get like weirdly connected or whatever, and like I get her text, she gets mine, so sometimes we accidentally text each other, but it's texting ourselves. But yeah, I'm old school. I'm pen and paper, but I like sticky notes. Oh my gosh, yeah, because you've been out here and you're working.
Out here, it's like so many ripped papers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's a little beat up, but
yeah.
I love it.
All reliable right there. Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh. Well, trying to think of more questions now. Wrap it. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Dia De Los Muertos live stream here at Hornet Radio. I'm Wade Donahoe, joined by Eli and by
Sabrina.
I got the S right. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you on Hornet. Oh, okay. And then coming up right now, we're going to have Mark and Ryan come and talk to you guys for a little bit. Thank you.
We're having a
Wow.
great time here at Dia De Los Muertos.
Wow, I put on my
Here on
Mr.
Hornet
Rogers. I put on my Mr. Rogers sweater, and this is how I get greeted. Wow.
That's exactly it. Here on Dia De Los Muertos on Hornet Radio, Ryan Osborne alongside Mark Pavlovich, and we have had a good time here tonight. We're wrapping up here in just a little bit, but Mark, you take a look at everything that took place here tonight. Again, this is the 5th time that we've been out here, 2019, 21, 22, 23, 24, and finally this year. You look at a celebration like this, and it's real difficult to not look around and feel like you've got a sense of community.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, it really is. You look at across the board, it was a rainbow coalition to steal from the past here tonight at Fullerton College, and everybody celebrated a thought of remembrance. Didn't matter what nationality, what religion you were. It was that day of everybody getting to think about relatives. And then it was sort of fun to look at people and say, well, what does this day mean to you? And what's interesting, it wasn't just looking at Hispanic people and going, oh, this is your day. You would look at other people of other nationalities and go, hey, what's this mean to you? And I think there's a sense of solidarity in togetherness here at Fullerton College.
No,
what do we got? Was Miss Potty Mouth behind me?
No, she did an excellent job here on the air as Mark's stepping on my cable here. Oh, my goodness.
There we go.
He's trying to take me off the air early,
well,
even though we're trying to go through our wrap-up. But, no, we have had a very good time. We do want to give a lot of credit to everyone who has had the opportunity to not only join us on the air, but help us get on the air as well. Mark, when you look at the amount of students that have not only helped us, but you also see them go through their performances too. You also see the students that are going through the workshops, workstations, information stations, even the food as well. It's a lot of student involvement. And that's really the kind of the essence of what Fullerton College is trying to build here.
Yeah, well, I went down to face painting because I had a friend of mine that called me, and I went down to see how they were doing with their children. And you had everybody from Cosmo down there who's part of our department here at Fullerton College. And the kids were having a ball, getting their faces painted, and everybody was laughing about what was going on. Everybody here, this is, once again, this is why it's called a community college, Fullerton Community College. And because that's what this is. This is a family together, be it students, instructors, or just relatives that know everybody that's going to the school. Or like a lot of us, have never left this school in their 75 years of existence here on Hornet Radio.
Hey, you know what? I'm 11 years on the road to that track, so I'll
there
join
you go.
soon enough.
Yeah, you're close. You're close.
We do want to give a big shout out and thank you to Gilberto Valencia, who did put on and make sure that he was extremely welcoming to not just us here at Hornet Radio, but across for everyone here who joined for this entire event. Gilberto was influential. Well, not just influential. He was the foundation of really making sure that this was getting up, getting ready, and getting rolling as well. So we do want to give him a very big shout out and a big thank you for making sure we have everything that we need. From, we're talking power to location, anything that we asked for, Gilberto was more than happy to be able to provide it to us and allow us to get on the air. So we do want to thank him quite a bit. Also, let's run down quickly the students who did help us get on the air, from Aiden down to Becky, in addition to Wade, Sabrina as well, and Thomas too. A lot of different students who helped us here tonight. Make sure that we had the opportunity to bring Dia De Los Muertos to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for them, we'd still be lugging equipment down here trying to set it up by ourselves. And thanks for everybody at home watching us tonight. I have a lot of people, and I need you to answer this before we go away. If they didn't get to see it tonight, how can they tell their friends there's a possibility to watch this one more time?
Well, the way that you can watch this is actually right here on the same channel. It will be immediately archived here on Hornet Radio's YouTube page, where you can watch along not only through this year's Dia De Los Muertos celebration, but you can also go back to the last 3 to 4 years, then all the way back to 2019 as well, as we have hosted a lot of Dia De Los Muertos celebrations here on Hornet Radio, and we will continue to do so as long as we are able to come out here and give you this broadcast. So if you are looking for more Dia De Los Muertos, and then you also want to go back and watch this one, you can do exactly that right here on Hornet Radio's YouTube page. So that's going to actually do it for us here today. Everyone else is taken off, but the dance floor is not quite done yet. And that's really the way that Dia de los Muertos is meant to be. Everyone else is getting ready to go, but life continues to go on behind us. That's going to do it for us here at Hornet Radio. Again, want to thank Aiden, Wade, Becky, Thomas, in addition to everyone, and Sabrina as well, who has gotten us on the air. For Mark Pavlovich, I'm Ryan Osborne, thanking you for joining us from the 30th Fullerton College Dia de los Muertos, right here on Hornet Radio.